Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this video finds you, I hope you're having a rad time. I'm the Figure Dude, and today we are going to review the Monday Night Wars Wave 1, Roddy Piper, and Bret the Hitman Hart. Without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. Welcome back. Like I said, today I finally was able to pick up the Monday Night Wars Ultimate Edition figures, and we're going to take a look at them. So we've got Bret the Hitman Hart in his Survivor Series Montreal Screwjob. I believe this is based from the Survivor Series. And then we've got Roddy Piper from his feud with Hulk Hogan in WCW. And admittedly, I never was a real huge Roddy Piper fan. His prime, his peak time was before I was super into wrestling, and then my memory of him is essentially just WCW, and all I remembered of him from WCW was them making fun of him for having his hip replaced. And there even was a WCW toy, I think it's either a Sting or a Buff Bagwell figure that came with this super scrawny cartoon looking Roddy Piper, and his leg would fall off, making fun of his hip, which was wild. But that was my introduction to Roddy Piper. So it took me a long time before his earlier work and everything really grew on me. But then I did grow to appreciate Roddy Piper. Bret Hart, however, I was a big fan when I was younger. He was one of the big names when I first got into wrestling. Even as a kid, I always loved watching the Iron Man match with him and Shawn Michaels. And then I, as a 5-year-old, 6, whatever it was, didn't understand why he left WWE and went to WCW. Obviously, well aware now I'm a huge wrestling fan. You don't have to be a huge wrestling fan to know that Bret screwed Bret. But I was really excited to get this. The Bret Hart, as far as the attire, isn't anything crazy that we haven't really gotten, but there are obviously upgrades with the coat. It's an Ultimate Edition, there's a bunch of new sculpts. But then Roddy Piper, I like to have the versions of, I don't have a WCW Roddy Piper, so I was excited to grab that one as well. But let's get all the accessories out, take a closer look, and see if I got my money's worth here. Alright, so I did want to take a look at Roddy Piper here first, just because it is different than other iterations we've gotten of Roddy Piper. The Bret Hart figures, we get our, I'm a huge Bret Hart fan. I'm a bigger Hart fan than I am Roddy Piper. But Roddy Piper, his look varied so much with his different hair, different moments we got with him, and he always wore his same blue tights underneath, but I feel his figures stand out a lot more from each other, vary a lot more. So I wanted to take a look at this, and as far as accessories go, just accessories alone, I definitely feel I got my Ultimate Edition money's worth. The Roddy Piper comes with a smiling sculpt. It comes with a yelling sculpt, which I think looks great. I think the likeness is very good for that one. The beard and true effects and everything, I think looks fantastic for Roddy. That's probably going to be the one that I pose him with. The only thing is the hair, his hair is a little bit longer on his, on the back of his box. So, I'm going to swap heads. Put this yelling head on Roddy Piper. Roddy Piper when I think of Roddy Piper, I just think of him yelling. I could make a Ruthless Aggression Roddy Piper as well. Maybe we'll do that. But he comes with the same exact leather jacket mold as the Bret Hart here, which I don't have the Ultimate Edition Eric Bischoff, but if I was guessing, I'd say it's the same one there as well. It has the straps on both sides. It has the zipper up it's got zippers on both sides, as do most jackets. I like the collar molding here. Nothing on the back. He just wore a plain leather jacket. Again, though, one of my issues here is the pinless arms. These are so solid, and like, you don't want them flopping around, obviously, but the pinless arms are such a pain. And I feel like my Roddy's arms don't sit down to the side very well, which might just be how the coat is. But like, articulation wise, we'll throw it in some hot water. I'm sure it'll be much better. But again, you're paying $35 with tax maybe, so you're paying a decent amount of money. You want your figures to just come out of the box functioning well. I shouldn't have to throw it into boiling water to get it to move. But it comes with 2 shirts. So we've got the Icon shirt, as well as the Reality Check shirt. So let's just set everything here. We've got 2 shirts. Obviously, he has his kilt and the molded plastic belt here, which I think looks very good. I really like that. I have a couple more Roddy figures that I'll show you, and one of them has the molded kilt, which it just doesn't stay on well, so I'm not a huge fan of that. He comes with the like Randy Orton hands. Obviously, he's got the fisted hands, and then here are his normal arms, just the plain white tape with the open hands. No microphone though. Like, I feel like when I just think of Roddy Piper, his promos are what I think of, and I would have liked God, I forgot the word. A microphone. I would have liked a microphone with him. So, getting the jacket off here. And the other shirt is exactly the same. So, no Velcro on either of them. They just slide on. They're very stretchy, which is nice. Obviously, you can take the arms off, so it doesn't make a huge, like, the stretchiness isn't completely necessary, but it makes it a lot easier to get things off. How does this come off? Okay, so, so this attaches in the middle. That's nice. And then this is Velcro, so that stays on very well. So here he is, just his blue tights. And I was looking at some pictures. I think that his tights should be a little bit darker. Maybe it's from a specific match where he had lighter blue. But looking back at reference pictures, I feel like it was a darker, he should have darker blue. And then the boots, I think, should be a more of a glossy color instead of kind of the flat brown that they have. But overall, I think it looks very good. I think it's a good representation of Roddy Piper right here, with his surgically repaired hip. I don't have a lot of complaints about it. I passed on the Coliseum collection Roddy Piper just because, like I said, it's essentially the same. He's got his kilt, his different shirts, and I'm not a massive Roddy Piper fan, so I could easily pop on another head from one of his figures and I'd be happy with it. But I think Ultimate Edition wise, this looks really nice. The drop down hips, of course, I've been on record a few times at least saying I'm not a huge fan of them. I really don't I don't know. I don't think they're entirely necessary. I think you can do a lot of really nice posing with just normal articulation. And the one thing I don't like, so this Roddy's not as bad. Like some of them I articulate the leg up, and when it comes back down, it immediately falls down. And that kind of bothers me. It's not like I'm doing a lot of playing with them to where that really matters, but I just like the feel of the Elites more. So I don't love the drop down hips, especially I think I'd like them for larger characters. And I feel like with the larger characters, it doesn't make that as big of a difference as I'd like. So I don't know. Just my opinion there, but he does have you can kind of see, hard to see, the RP on his boots, the socks. Nothing we haven't really seen in a Roddy before, but I do think this is a really nice looking figure. He's got a ton of accessories, like the mountain of accessories over there. So I did want to grab another Roddy. So this is the Network Spotlight Roddy Piper. It obviously this is the rubber one I was talking about, and I can't even get the pegs to stay in. It just like floats on him. It's got the rubber pegs, and they just don't stay in very well. Like, even just without being on, like, the pegs are tiny. I don't know. Not their best execution there, but they redeemed themselves. That cloth goods kilt looks much, much better. And this one, so the Elites have the Daniel Bryan torso, which I don't know. I feel maybe that works for Roddy Piper. You can see his boots are lighter here. And just, I tried to look at different pictures, and I feel like there wasn't this stark of a contrast in his boots. So I can't, it was kind of hard to tell which ones were more accurate, but I'm just used to the lighter ones for Mattel's figures. But then most of the pictures I looked at felt like they were kind of darker, like a more darker color. I don't know. I feel like there is a middle ground they need to hit with these boots, but nonetheless, still, I think it's a nice figure. I like all the sculpts and everything. And like I said, we're gonna see if we were getting our money's worth, and at least with the Roddy Piper, I feel like I am. So I'm gonna move him out of the way, take a look at Bret quick. Here's Bret, and for the most part, what we get with him is just like the standard Bret Hart Ultimate Edition accessories. I think this is his third Ultimate Edition. We got the original that had the black, that had the pink with the like splatter paint torso, and then we got the all pink one at Target. And then I guess he has the Coliseum Collection one. I have not picked that up. I do really like the Anvil figure and the sculpts that comes with, so I might pick up that 2-pack, but then that would make this one his fourth. I could be missing one, but I think I'm right now. There are some differences. So the head sculpts here are all new. I do really like the hair. They're all the same hair mold, I believe. They might just look a little different, but they've got the hair down the side, and they don't have a bunch of hair hanging in front of his face. They do have one strand that goes down the side, and I think that looks good. I mean, I guess this one does a little bit too. I think this is, hair-wise, this is one of my favorite like looks for the Bret Hart figures. This one looks, I feel like this one looks more like a British Bulldog. This one, so the time frame is like 97 Bret Hart, and I feel like we should have some like pissed off scans, or even if we could have gotten like a scan that looked like he was spitting, like he did at the Survivor Series when he got screwed over by Vince. That would have been really cool, but I feel like none, like this one, so the glasses, they don't really fit. They kind of just like port in, but not well. I don't know if they're just too thick. They don't really sit in there well. Here's one, the most serious scan. I don't love that one. I would have liked an angrier looking Bret. Here he is with this one, the smiling one, and I can see this one being like his entrance face with the glasses, and it's okay, but even this one, or like this one is more of a just like posing with the belt smirking. This is a good entrance scan, but like I said, I think it looks more like a Davey Boy Smith with like the big hair. I just, everyone knows that they don't nail Bret Hart sculpts, and I know I've seen some like just some customizers make some nice sculpts, and those are pretty good too, but I don't know, something about Bret Hart's face they just like can't get right. They're just they've made a lot of Bret Hart figures, and even Jakks, I didn't think Jakks made, like the Jakks Classic Superstars Bret that I had, I didn't think that sculpt was great. So I don't know, it's just something with Bret, he just doesn't have like prominent features or something that they can really pick out. Outside of the head sculpt, we do obviously get this leather jacket. Like I said, it's the same one. Him and Roddy have the same one. This one says Hart Foundation on the back, and torso and everything is the same as the Target exclusive pink one that we got. So besides this one being in black, I think this torso is a lot nicer than what we got the first time around, and I am going to compare the Ultimate Editions, but this one has the drop down hips. Like I said, not a huge fan. If I'm taking a picture, putting someone in the sharpshooter, sure, I guess it's a little bit nicer having those drop down hips, but still don't love them. When I think of Bret Hart, this is my like quintessential look for Bret Hart. I do really like this. I like the black and pink. I know people talk about a WCW version of him, which I don't know exactly what people mean. We've gotten the Goldberg one. I don't know. If you're a Bret Hart fan, if you could enlighten me on what people mean by a Bret Hart look, I feel like he wore black and pink in WWE, then he went to WCW and kept wearing black and pink. So that's one that I'm not like waiting for, but I'll probably pick it up. I was a Bret Hart fan. So anyway, the torso, I don't know if I even reviewed the Target exclusive one, but the torso we got on the original Bret Hart is so, like, this whole figure is so different. Even the pinks are pretty different here, but you can see this one is just like, it's just like sits weirder on the top portion. This one, they put the straps at the top, so it like cuts off and it makes sense. This one, the straps are here, and then they're like overhangs on top, like over the torso. So that was one upgrade I really liked. And then the thighs are bigger too. They're like the Seth Rollins size legs, which I kind of liked, but I think I like this look better. I think this looks more fitting for him. Like, it looks more natural. So the head sculpt on this other one, I don't even remember what the other one we like came on it was. I don't know. We've gotten a lot of Bret Harts. I can't remember. But this is from his Elite 94. I think I really like that head sculpt. The other Ultimate Edition I have for Bret Hart is the pink one, which actually has the black jacket on it. So you can just see here, this is the like classic Bret Hart jacket, which the pink, when in the pink, I think it's exactly the same mold, but another great, like I think from the neck down, these Bret Hart figures are phenomenal. I think they're fantastic. I think Mattel's got it down. Just haven't nailed that head sculpt yet. So last one I wanted to get in here was the Defining Moments Bret Hart, and this is one other small thing I wasn't a huge fan of, or not a fan of, but a little disappointed we didn't get, is the elbow pads here. So these are from the WrestleMania Build-A-Figure Bret. They have the white outline on them. I wish that's what we would get with the older Brets. I don't know why they do that. If you go back and look at pictures, at least like closer up on the bicep, you see the white outline. So I would have liked that on the elbow pads. I think he even has it on the knee pads sometimes. I could be wrong there. I could be remembering incorrectly, but I don't know. I guess the more I look at this one, I think this is a decent looking sculpt. This one looks really weird. Maybe if the hair was different, the hair is a big hit with me. I think this looks fantastic. I'll probably fix up a Bret Hart so I can give him the leather jacket in his street clothes, in his like jean shorts, and like put him in the wheelchair like from when Shawn Michaels super kicked him. I don't know. There's still some stuff I like of Bret Hart, like some moments we could focus on a little more, but maybe we'll get some greatest hits, some from the vault. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I don't know where we were going here. I think it's about time to wrap it up. But last comparison, you can take a peek here. I think it's the exact same attire. This is just the Ultimate Edition upgrade. So I don't know. I'm pretty happy with the Bret Hart as well. The verdict is always going to be out on his sculpts. Typically, you see him in the renders; they don't look great, and then in person, it's kind of hit or miss. So I feel like we've gotten a lot of different versions, and all of the different sculpts of Bret look very different, and none of them still have just been that home run. So hopefully we get that at some point. You know, they're not going to stop making Bret Harts, but let me know what you guys think. If you guys are going to pick these up, I know when I picked mine up, they had like literally just reset the section, and there were only there was one of each of the Roddy Piper and the Bret Hart. So I snagged them, and then the Maivia 3-pack as well. So I'll be talking about that, reviewing that up on the channel here before too long. If you made it to the end of the video, I appreciate it. Please continue to like, share, subscribe, and remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy more action figures. Figure Dude, out.